One thing I constantly hear from fellow practitioners is how much time they spend on tasks outside of the treatment room. Things like charting, scheduling, bookkeeping, the list, it's endless. And this struggle, it isn't just yours, it was mine too. Seriously, for the first few years of my practice, I would spend as much time, well, quite honestly, even more time, working outside of the treatment room as I did in it. For those of you who are new here, my name is Jess Reynolds. Glad to have you here. Today we're going to be talking about something we all wish we had more of: time. Specifically, how we can make the most of our time as wellness practitioners. I'm going to be walking you through the tools that I have used that are very helpful to get more out of every hour of your day. And a little bit later on in the video, we're going to talk about the single biggest thing to avoid if you really want to maximize your productivity without burning out. This is a common mistake that many practitioners make, and I'm going to show you how to steer clear of it. While we typically charge our clients for the time we spend with them in the treatment room, the reality is a significant portion of our workday goes into tasks that help keep our practice running, tasks that aren't directly billable. Like I said, these are things like charting and scheduling and bookkeeping, among many other things. But what if there was a way to reduce the time spent on these other tasks, freeing up more hours in your day? Really imagine what it would be like having an extra hour each day. What would you do with it? Drop your thoughts in the comments because it's super fascinating to see how we all envision using this extra bit of time. And really, let's think about this for a second. An extra hour a day means 7 hours a week, obviously, but that's 30 hours a month. By the end of the year, that's a gained 365 hours. That's 15.3 full days. Or another view, that's 45 extra 8-hour work days in a year. But it's not just about numbers, it's about potential. Here's the thing, I'm not talking about pushing harder, and I'm certainly not talking about hustle culture or joining the 5 a.m. club. I'm talking about being smart with the time we have. When I chat with fellow practitioners and my coaching clients, many of them dream of more leisure time. They want to spend more time with their kids, more time doing yoga, or just unwinding in nature. Some, of course, would use this extra time to grow their practice. The beauty is there's no wrong answer. And this is where I come in. For some reason, and I have no idea why, I have a passion for the art and science of productivity, and it's been a serious game changer for me. Understanding how to be productive has enabled me to balance a thriving practice, manage 2 different businesses, run a YouTube channel, take care of my health, and still enjoy plenty of time with friends and family. I believe what I think is a pretty balanced and highly productive life. So today, I'm really excited to share with you the productivity hacks and the tips that have transformed my life and the lives of many others. And these tips are specifically tailored to wellness practitioners. These strategies are designed to help you reclaim those precious moments and achieve a similar balance in your own life. This video was sponsored by Jane, but more on them later. So we're going to dive into 3 essential aspects of productivity that are crucial for any wellness practitioner: time management, task management, and using technology the right way. Each of these areas is key in optimizing how we work and manage our practice. At the heart of productivity lies time management. Remember, every minute counts, and recognizing the value of each moment is the first step to mastering your time and productivity. There have been countless books written on time management. The Productivity Project and Eat That Frog, well, those are my 2 personal favorites. These books offer really deep insights, but turns out the essence of time management, it's really quite straightforward. Let's start with something called Parkinson's Law, which states, work expands to fill the available time for its completion. Think about this in a clinical setting. Say you have allocated an hour to write up your charting notes at the end of the day. But realistically, this should only take you 30 minutes. Often you'll find that it actually takes the whole hour you've allotted to it, as the task unconsciously becomes more complex in your mind. To counter this, try setting stricter, shorter time limits for such tasks. This forces you to focus and work much more efficiently, preventing tasks from taking up much more time than necessary. Now this, of course, might sound obvious, but there are a few little tricks that make Parkinson's law really powerful. A really good question to ask is, how long should you give yourself for a specific task? This is where our next technique comes in, and that's called the Pomodoro technique. This technique taps into our natural concentration spans. The average person, they can focus intensely on a task for about 25 minutes before needing a short break. Now, we could talk about attention spans all day, but we'll stick to 25 minutes. With the Pomodoro technique, you work for 25 minutes and then you take a 5-minute break. And if the task is not complete, you give yourself another 25-minute time chunk. These intervals, named Pomodoros after the Italian word for tomato, named after a tomato-shaped kitchen timer, help maintain your focus and prevent burnout. After completing 4 Pomodoros, you would then take a longer break of 15 to 30 minutes. It's a rhythm that keeps your mind fresh and alert, helping you tackle tasks efficiently without feeling overwhelmed. So when deciding how much time to allot to a specific task, consider how many 25-minute time chunks it might take. I personally tend to assume most things in my day are going to take 1 Pomodoro, and if I'm wrong, then I just adjust the number of time chunks for the next time. Now, this next part is a critical aspect of time management, and that's minimizing distraction. This is where the do not disturb function on your device is going to come in really handy. Distractions are incredibly detrimental to productivity. It takes on average about 23 minutes to fully regain focus after being interrupted. So by reducing these interruptions, you not only save time, but you also ensure that the quality of your work remains very high. If you're deep in the focus zone of writing soap notes or month-end accounting or whatever it is, 3 tiny interruptions can cost you a full hour of time. That's huge. So then next, we have to dive into task management. Managing our tasks effectively is just as crucial as managing our time as a whole. The first step is learning how to prioritize tasks. For beginners, the easiest and the most effective way, in my opinion, is to use this thing called the Eisenhower matrix. This simple yet powerful tool helps you categorize tasks based on their urgency and importance. The matrix can be visualized using a grid system. The x-axis represents urgency, ranging from urgent to not urgent, and the y-axis represents importance, ranging from not important to important. This gives us 4 quadrants: urgent and important, important but not urgent, urgent but not important, and neither urgent nor important. This method helps you focus on what truly matters and avoid wasting time on less critical tasks. So start by writing down a full list of all the tasks you need to complete. Then use the Eisenhower matrix to prioritize them. For the day, choose your top 3 tasks from the urgent and important quadrant. These are your primary tasks to focus on for that day. Also, stick to only 3. There's a fair amount of compelling research showing that limiting ourselves to just 3 tasks a day is ideal. You can check out that book, Eat That Frog, I mentioned if you want to learn a lot more about this. Now, the tasks that are important but not urgent, they can be scheduled for what I call a cleanup day. I'll talk about that a little bit more in a minute. As for the tasks that are urgent but not important, if you have an assistant, delegate them. Otherwise, schedule these tasks appropriately, ensuring that they don't overshadow your important and urgent tasks. Try and give them no more than 1 Pomodoro though. And the tasks that are neither urgent nor important, well, those we can eliminate completely. For example, constantly checking email might seem urgent, but it's usually not important. So reducing time spent on such tasks frees up much more time for your top priorities. Now, that cleanup day I spoke about. This is when I sit down and put on some really good tunes and I just hammer out as many tasks as I can in a 4 Pomodoro time chunk. It's amazing how much you can accomplish when you dedicate time with no distractions to clearing the decks. Finally, I would suggest you have 1 day a month, or a half day if that works better for you, dedicated entirely to scheduling, planning, and organizing the upcoming month. This process, it takes some time to master, but done properly, it minimizes the need for ad hoc planning throughout the month. So 4 to 5 hours of focused planning at the start of the month can save you a ton of time later on. Alright, so we've talked about managing time and tasks effectively. But to bring it all together, we need the right technology. Without it, we're often left with a desktop full of documents and a wall plastered with post-it notes. So let's dive into the right apps and systems that can streamline everything for you. I want to start quickly by saying that many of you might prefer pen and paper. That's totally cool. For those of you, I've linked my favorite day timer and task management book in the description below. But for me, and perhaps many of you, technology is the key to staying organized and efficient. Now, there are millions of different time management, project management, and task management softwares out there. And there are just as many different calendar and scheduling apps. So to keep things simple, I'll share what I use, and I'll also give you alternatives for those who prefer simplicity. My go-to app for managing everything in one place is Notion. It's incredibly versatile, allowing for a very high degree of customization. However, with versatility comes complexity. So if you're not very tech-savvy, it might not be the best fit for you. If you're looking for something a little bit more straightforward, I suggest TickTick. It's a fantastic, user-friendly task app. For scheduling, I would suggest Google Calendar. What I absolutely love about Google Calendar is its ease of integration, especially with systems like EMRs, which is crucial for us as practitioners. Speaking of EMRs, let's talk about their crucial role in productivity. A robust electronic medical record system is invaluable for things like booking, payment processing, accounting, charting, pretty much everything you need for practice management. I've seen firsthand how much time practitioners save when these tasks are streamlined through an efficient EMR. It's about reducing the hours we spend on those things like charting, billing, and scheduling so you can focus more on client care. This brings me to today's sponsor, Jane. Jane is an all-in-one EMR system designed for seamless and efficient practice management. With Jane, your bookings, your payments, your client records, they're all in one intuitive system, freeing you up from the tedious administrative tasks that many of us don't like. Jane's features are tailored to meet the evolving needs of a modern wellness practice. So if you're in search of an EMR that does it all and saves you a ton of time, Jane, it's probably your answer. Check out the link in the description below and be sure to use the code AIM1MO to get a 1-month grace period on your new Jane account. And now, let's tie everything together in a way that might surprise you. With all this extra time we've reclaimed through smart time and task management and the efficient and effective use of technology, I want to encourage you to think a little bit differently about how you use it. This might sound a little counterintuitive, but consider engaging in what I call time-adding activities. These are things that at first glance seem to take up time, but actually make everything else we do more efficient and even enjoyable. A good example is regular exercise. It doesn't just keep you fit, but it boosts your energy levels and it adds to mental clarity, allowing you to stay focused and accomplish more in the time you have. Similarly, things like spending time in nature, meditating, or pursuing a hobby can rejuvenate your mind and your spirit, making you more present and engaged both in your personal and your professional life. The key here is balance. While it's tempting to fill up your newfound time with more and more tasks, I urge you not to fall into that trap. The goal of being more productive isn't to cram as many tasks into your day as possible. It's about creating space and time for self-care and activities that replenish you. This approach leads to a more sustainable, fulfilling life, both as wellness practitioners and also as individuals. Remember, productivity is a means to an end, not the end itself. It's about making time for what truly matters: your health, your passions, your loved ones, your personal growth. So take a moment and reflect on what you'll use your extra time for, not just to do more, but to be more fulfilled, more balanced, and more in tune with what brings you joy and peace. So thank you for joining me on this journey to better productivity. If you're looking to enhance and speed up your charting skills, don't forget to check out my video on efficient SOAP notes and charting techniques. I really hope that these tips and strategies help you as much as they help me. And if you like this type of content and you want to learn more about how to build a practice you love and the skills that sustain it, please like and subscribe and share your thoughts in the comments below. It helps our channel out a lot. Until next time, take care and be productive in a way that enriches your life.